Kitsuart.
Hi fellow kitsunes, I am Kitsuart, and this is part 4 of my Master Sword Blender tutorial. We are almost done, so keep going. Okay, so next step is gonna be the golden parts that go around the diamond. So this will be the next step. So in order to do this, we're gonna have to create another shape. So it's Shift A, add a cube. Then we're gonna have to move this up, and of course, the same as always, scale it down. Okay, we can hardly see it, but you can see it right here, so we're gonna have to make it. It's kind of far away from it, so to bring it to the front. There we go, I see it. Alright, here we go, and I see the lines right here now. I see it clearly. Okay, bring it to the shape. Nope. Go here. Bring it down. Okay, next we have to move this cursor, the 3D cursor. So this thing right here, we're gonna have to move it over here. So I believe the button was, let's see here, what's the button? That's not the button. Alright, shift right click. That's the button. Shift right click. So shift right click and move that point right here. I cannot remember what that is called. Okay, I looked through my notes. It's called a 3D cursor. So the 3D cursor needs to be right here in the center of this object. What we're gonna do next now, it's gonna be let's go to the Y view, and then make sure it's let's make sure the object here is okay. It's equal on both sides. So we're gonna have to move this. So that's why we have the other view right here, so we can have a look at here. So we're gonna have to like stretch it a little more, and then just move it a little back. Make sure it's in the center. Okay, that looks good so far. Okay, so far so good. We'll just leave it at that. Okay, now for the next part, we'll be going to edit mode. Press number 3 for the faces. Select the bottom face, and we're going to be using the spin tool. So the spin tool, I still need some practice with the spin tool. So just grab this right here. And it's not moving. Okay, we're just gonna grab the spin tool. Okay, I cannot switch the axis right here, so oh. Okay, this is what's happening here. So this is not the axis that I want. So we're gonna have to like change the axis here. So this is making it go the other way. So we're gonna have to switch the axis here. And how would you do that? I'll be right back. Okay, I found it. So it's gonna be on the top right here. So once you select the spin tool, there'll be like some options appearing on the top. I only use the spin tool like one time, so yeah, so just click right here. This is what we want. This is what we're gonna do. So let's see. No, we don't want this. We want the X. There we go. The X is what we want. There we go. So just click it and hold. Just hold click and drag it until you reach that part. And there we go. And that's it. That's all you need to do to create that shape. If you don't have it the way you want it, you can do some small edits as well. So we're gonna go back to object mode. Move it a little bit to the back here. And if you want to do some edits yourself, you can go to vertices mode and just like, just move them one by one, pretty much like this. Just move the vertices one by one. But for now, this looks pretty good so far. So we're not gonna mess with it. But as long as you get like the same shape as what we're trying to do on the reference, that'll be fine. Next is going to be edit mode on top here. Press 3 for face. Select the top face. We're going to go to the spin tool. And you can see it's not going to look good. You can see this is not going to look as good as the other one. So this one, we will not use the spin tool for this. So for this, we're just going to extrude. And just go all the way up like this, and we're gonna move it all the way over here, and then we're going to rotate it and put it as close as possible to the shape, and then just make some edge loops. Just some edge loops cuts, scroll the button, right click to not move them, and there we go. Alright, so just adjust them a little bit more like this. Just move them a little bit, not too much, because you want to make sure it looks professionally made, like you may use the spin tool. It looks nice and smooth a bit. Okay, so now we go back here, and of course we do right click, shade smooth, and you can see something's there's something weird going on here. That's probably because of this. So that's probably happening because of these right here. So I think the way you can actually get rid of that would be to create a tool to create an edge loop. So we're going to create this edge loop, click in here, and just move it up here. And you can see that has gotten rid of it a bit. So we're going to edge loop cut over here as well. And there we go. And now it looks smooth. You don't see the lines as from before. You don't see them anymore. So now this is actually a really good shape now. It looks pretty well. You can see these things right here, but barely noticeable. When you're working with video games, you don't need to do subdivision or anything that fancy because the technology has limits. Unless you're working with PlayStation, who really loves to make realistic things, but you don't need it to have a realistic game to be really good. So yeah, better graphics does not equal a better game. So yeah, that's all you have to do. And of course we need to put another one on this side, so we're gonna have to do another mirror modifier. Add a mirror modifier. press Y, go here, then go to edit mode. We're gonna have to select all of the faces here, so press 3, go here, and then we're gonna move this and move these apart until you get the distance you want. So, and then once you got that distance, we're gonna move it back here, and you can see we were not correct. So go back to edit mode. Okay, there we go. Edit mode. Move these back, and you can see they're actually, yeah, they're actually moving well. There we go. Now that looks somewhat even. Go back to object mode. Move them a little bit to the right. So I can see the distance here is not the same distance as over here. So we're just going to be moving it a little bit. But then again, it is going to mess with our model here as well. So, oh wait. Yeah, I guess it's a little okay to move it a little back. Alright, just a little bit back. Just adjust it as best as possible. Now we're going to create this little area right here. We're going to create a cube. And the cube actually appeared where we have our cursor. So if we want to get our 3D cursor back to where it was, which is about right here. Just want to put the 3D cursor back to where it was. Alright, we'll just leave it like that. So everything is gonna spawn right here. Whenever you create a new shape, it's gonna spawn right here in this area. Alright, so we're gonna create that other object. So go here, zoom in. Okay, still need to scale it. Press S for scale. Go up here, just move it up. Probably gonna have to like scale it a little bit so you can cover some of the parts up there. Okay. Bring it up here, and then we go to edit mode, press number 3 for faces. Then we're going to select the bottom face, going to make an extrusion, and then we're going to scale it by the y-axis, scale it down like this. Or we can also merge the vertices as well, which I probably guess we should do. But first, we're going to do it this way. So go back to Object, and then Shade Smooth it. You can see it looks like that. That's not something we pretty much want, but it almost seems to have like this diamond shape to it as well. So I'm not sure if this area right here should be going outside a bit, so I guess we're gonna have to do it that way. So we're gonna have to go make an edge loop right here. There we go. And then press right click, and then this will work right here. So you got 2 of them and they're still selected, so x-axis, scale it. You don't want it too close to it. There we go. Then we want to make another one. Make 2 more here. Right click, scale them out. then about right there. And then we're gonna make another one in the center. Then we're gonna scale it a little out. Or so I think it should be, but probably shouldn't. So we're just gonna select the one up here, deselect the bottom one, and then extrude it out a little bit, just like that. And then go back to object mode, and then scale the entire piece a little down, or scale it to the x-axis. Make sure it's like on par with the other one. So I'm gonna go to the y-axis. Or another way we can do this is go to the object here, and then select this object, and right here tells you your scales and rotations, your locations. So if we go to the X and scale X, we can see the numbers right there start changing right here. So Control C to go back, and we can see the number is 0.054. So we're gonna go back here, go to the X-axis, and then do 0.054. And we can see that actually extruded it, but it does not look the same on the other side. So we're gonna have to look at the location of this, the x-axis location. We can see the location x-axis here. So that number right there, 49, 34, 45. So it's impossible for us to remember this number, so might as well Control C to copy. And then just put Control P or Control V, enter it. Just like you do on Microsoft, Control C to copy, then Control V to paste. And we can see that piece is now in there, and we can see that's actually a little bit like it's actually touching these right here. So we don't want them to contact each other. So scale it down just a little bit, and leave a small gap right there in the middle. We can see that there is touching more on this side, so we're gonna have to go move it over here. You can see the middle part right there as well. Or we can just move the object itself over here. Yeah, we can just do this like that. And there you go. Now you got the little gold diamonds in there. This is probably not looking good because this is gonna be right here, so we're gonna have to like scale it down on the x-axis a little, or maybe just scale that part. Okay, about right there. And then we're gonna have a look at the other side. We can see it's a little bit more or less the same, so I feel like we need to probably move these objects a little bit. So shift select the other object, and then just move them a little bit to the front. And we can see it's actually not bad now. Alright, so far so good. It looks nice. Alright, so right now the master source seems to be almost complete, but we are missing the ricasso right here. So this right here, we're gonna use a square. So Shift A, go to Mesh, and put a cube. Sorry about that. There's a cube, so now we scale it, and then bring it up on the view. Scale it again. Make it as close as possible to the object. Okay, and it seems to be on the spot right here. Okay, and then just scale it up. down, scale it up a little bit on the Z axis. Now we need to look at the Y view. It's not like stretched enough, so we gotta stretch it. Then move it back a bit. No, it's not what I wanted. Okay, there we go. Okay, go back to the X view. Then edit mode, press 3, click the bottom one. And then we're going to extrude this. So you can see that it goes right here, so we're gonna extrude here, and extrude again. So extrude it, and then move it to the right, to the left. Extrude again. Move it to the left. Extrude again. And then move it to the right, to the left. Okay, so far so good. And you can see that it has these white lines, right? There's this white right here, and then it has gold right here. So that means we're gonna have to like separate these objects, or not separate them. We're gonna have to like create this object right here. So the gold goes up here, down here, and then goes up there. So we're gonna have to create like a cut. Yeah, we're gonna have to like edge loop cut here. So Control R for edge loop cut, left click, then move up here, click again. We're gonna create another edge loop. Gonna bring it here, move it over here, and you can see it's actually moving alongside this right here. Then we're gonna create another edge loop cut down here. Then we're gonna move the vertices. And then just put this as close as possible to that. Go right here, go right here. There we go. Okay, so far so good. So then we're gonna have to go back to the Y view, and then we might need to actually yeah, so we're gonna have to go here. So I'll put the X view on this side. Then we're gonna have to select all of this right here. Select these vertices, every single one on the outside here, and then scale them. So scale them on the x-axis here, about right there, and you can see we have that right now. So it wouldn't hurt to probably scale them a little bit more. Maybe about right there would be nice. Probably have to scale these two. Okay, go back to the X view, then grab these right here, move them down. Okay, that's like about it right here. We have to Okay, I'm probably gonna have to like scale it on the x-axis here. Maybe not. Okay, I kind of see the problem here. Okay, so this is supposed to be a little bit longer than the other one. It needs to be shot a little bit more. Okay, we're gonna go back here, grab these axes, grab all of them, and then scale them out until you see that. Yeah, so right here. Okay. And then we're gonna move them to the front. And then what we're gonna do is extrude this. Maybe not extrude. Extruding will not work, so maybe not that. We're gonna do an edge loop, make 2 edge loops cuts, don't move them, and then scale them out, scale them apart, like that, and then just move them out. Oop, not the ones I wanted. Okay, so we're gonna have to deselect them. Press hold control, click these right here. These will deselect the vertices. Make sure all of them are deselected. Then we move them back here. There you go. Now it's not messing with the model. Okay, since it's not like looking as I wanted it to, I guess we're gonna have to like scale these as well. So grab the back side of it. So grab all the vertices right here, so we don't mess up the model. So grab each vertice right here. Alright, so grab grab those vertices, and then same thing. We're gonna scale them out a bit. Okay, about that will work. And then control, deselect these, and then just bring them out. Okay, and do the same thing with the other one, since we want it to be outside of it more. These are complicated shapes, so this might take a while. Or maybe we can just scale the entire object. Yeah, this is not how I wanted it to go. Okay, we're gonna leave it like that. So instead, let's see here. Select the faces on this right here. So select these faces. Select this face. And select the other ones. Okay. Alright, so when extruding, press X and hold Shift and press Y, and it'll extrude them on both those directions. So extrude them just a little bit. And things should look okay. So now you can see right here. Yep, this is what we wanted. Yep. Alright, this is what we wanted right here. This how it needs to be. Okay, and then we're gonna like scale it down a little bit since we actually extruded those. So scale it down. Alright, so far so good. It looks pretty good so far. Oh, Q and then frame selected. Okay, so far so good. Alright, so that's still not what I wanted right here. So we're gonna select the vertices right here. Select all these vertices. Select this one's right here in the middle center, because this is not how I did it back then. It doesn't look too much like how I did it at first, but we're gonna move these back a bit. And then select this. And then move it a little bit back. And then we're gonna edge loop cut right here in the center. We're only gonna do one and do not move it. So now let's see how it looks if we move it forward. And then leave it as it is right there. I'm aware that this is actually moving as well, but it's not gonna be, you're not gonna notice it, so it's no big deal. And then shade smooth. We can see it's not quite the shape that I thought it would be, because if I go back here, this is the shape I get. And I want to see these edges right here. Those are the edges that I want to see. So go to Edge, Shade Smooth. Let's go back to Edit. And then we're going to do like Edge Loop Cut here. And then Edge Loop Cut right here, as close as possible. And then also, yeah, this is it's not looking good right here. You can see that it's not looking that good. So maybe it was a mess up I did. Oh, yep, that's my fault. Yep, I did not grab that one. So that's what happened right here. So gonna move this back. bit more back, and then same thing. Okay, just like I did before. Edge loop cut right here. Move it a little forward. Okay, and then we go to object mode, shade smooth, and alright, much better, much noticeable. So now the same thing, do some edge loop cuts on here. And you can see it's not gonna affect the bottom area right here, so we're gonna have to do this one separate. So an edge loop cut right here, bring it all the way here to the as close as possible to the ledge. And then the other one right here, separate it. Edge loop cut, bring it up. Then get out of there. You can see it's still not easily to notice it. So we're gonna go back in here and then select edge loop again. We're gonna put the edge loop on this right here, and we're not gonna move it. Right click. So we're just gonna put one edge loop right there. Then we're gonna do another edge loop cut right here. Then bring it as close as possible here. Alright, and then another edge loop cut here. Alright, and then get out of edit mode, and it's much more noticeable. Now we notice it even more. So that's why we want it right here. Alright, that's how it needs to be right there. Oh, and then you're noticing these right here. That's because of the edge loop cuts that we were doing here. So and they're not connected either, are they? Oh, it seems like they are. Yeah, so we want to get rid of that right there. That doesn't look that good. Unless you actually want to keep it there, because we also got this right here. So I'm not sure if you want to keep that or not. That depends on you. It's easily noticeable, but I mean, you can notice it a bit, but if you don't want that, you can just grab these vertices up here. We're gonna grab these vertices, then grab the other vertices, and then right click, or no, X to delete them, and put dissolve vertices. And that causes a problem here. That causes one problem here. So yeah, go back here. Probably did not select everything. There we go. So now we go dissolve vertices, and that's gonna happen. So not wanted that to happen. Go back to extra view. Oh, you can see what the problem is right here. That's because they're getting in the way. This gets in the way. So select this one, control click this one. Okay, and now we can actually do dissolve vertices, and it's still not working. So yeah, it still doesn't work. Still creating this weird thing right here. So X, unless we can dissolve edges. Alright, dissolving edges does work. Alright, somehow dissolving the edges seems to be working. So we're gonna shift click this since this didn't go away. X, dissolve edges. That dissolves that edge. Okay, but now we want to dissolve the other edges, so now we're gonna have to go select these right here, and then shift select this, and then press X, dissolve edges. And you can see this is still pretty noticeable. It's still easily noticeable here. Probably due to this thing being in there. So unless we're able to do something about it, so you may run into problems like this right here. So the best thing you can do would be to scale and put them together. So So you can see this is pretty messed up. So we're gonna have to go here and select all these vertices right here. Select every single one of them. Okay, so yeah, there's another reason why I shouldn't be moving both vertices at once, because yeah, it's gonna mess it up. So yeah, they're not straight. So we're gonna go to scale. We're gonna press S for scaling, and then press Y, press 0, press enter, and now you can see it's actually getting them together, but it's not what we wanted. This is gonna be, we forgot to click this right here. Same thing, press S for scale, and then press Y, press 0. You can now see that that's a straight line. Alright, so that is now a straight line. And now we're going to do the same thing with the other ones. So grab right here. Or basically we want it to be right over here like this one. Make sure it's as straight as possible. Oh, this might be a problem. Go back. I'm gonna undo this right here, but you kinda, I hope you get what I mean here. So just select all of these right here. Deselect the bottom here. I don't know how that happened. Select this right here. S, Y, 0, enter. And that seems much better. Move it a little bit to the side here, making sure that it's straight. Now select these right here. Press shift. So it seems like we cannot select these ones first, so we're gonna select the other ones here first. Select this one. Right, now we go S for scale, and then press Y for the Y-axis, press 0 for the location of these vertices, and then press enter to confirm it. And there we go. Now it looks good. And last but not least, we'll do this one. And then S, Y, 0, enter. There we go. And then we'll probably do the same thing for the entire thing right here, maybe. I don't know. As long as it doesn't mess up with the shape. So now we go back. And then the shape is still there. We can still see this line, but I don't think it's like that much of a big deal. It did not select the entire thing. Okay, so this is where it's gonna mess me up because they're far too close to each other. So we're gonna start with this right here. So we'll start with this one right here. Press S, Y, 0. There we go. Now we'll go with the other one. S, Y, 0. Then this one is more far apart, so S, Y, 0. Oh, nope. Okay, still not working. You can still see it right here, so it's not really working. So I'm not sure how to fix this right here, but I'm sure it's not gonna be too much of a bother here. So okay, so now that I struggle to try to fix this, yeah, just try to follow what I did. But yeah, that's all we wanted, just to have these lines right here, just to see how it all looks. It all looks pretty well. And it's actually right there on the top of the sword. So now we're gonna add a modifier and just mirror it, same as everything right here. Gonna go with Y. and then press 3 for faces. Select the entire faces, press shift select to select what you haven't selected, and then just move it away, and you'll see that moving as well. Go back to object, and then move it. Okay, almost had it. Okay, and now we have a good look at it right here. See right here, that's a spot right there, the spot right there. So it looks pretty good so far. Alright, so far so good. Alright, so far so good. This will probably be the last step on doing this right here. So just some final edits, just have a good look at how the sword is, how everything is looking. Just get a good look at how everything is right now. So the sword is looking good. It's looking pretty sharp as well. But we also did the shade smooth, so we want to be able to see the lines right here where it comes out. So of course, you guessed it, we're gonna use some edge loops as well. But the edge loops is gonna probably be messed up a little bit because we got this area down here. So you know, we're gonna have to like go to vertices mode. Then, you know, bringing this down is not gonna help that much, or is it? It's not gonna help us. It's not gonna help us, so we're gonna have to go the other way right here. So, you know, shift, then press Control R, and then cut, edge loop cut it. Left click, and then right click to not move it. Go to the scale tool, and then we're gonna have to like look for it. Where is it? It's right there. So then we scale it away, move it as close to the other loops as possible. There we go. And then we also do another thing right here. So I guess this is gonna be like a edge loop thing right here. Gonna have to do one edge loop cut. And probably put it right here in the center, not move it. Then we're gonna do a knife tool. Cut right here, connect these vertices right there, and now we're gonna have to connect the back as well. Not sure if this is gonna help, but it's better than nothing. So let's go over here. Then, yeah, cut it right here, connect it over here, enter. Right, and then there's gonna be a problem. Okay, there are times like these where I have to like zooming all the way in. Then go inside here, move it out a bit so I can so I'm able to see it more clearly. Alright, and then knife tool again. Then cut right here, go all the way down. Cut right here, connect it right there, press enter. And then same thing on the back right here. Alright, click right there, click button down here, connect it to this right here, press enter. And then we're going to do an edge loop, we're going to do another cut right here. So we're going to do another cut, or maybe not. Let's see how the edge loop behaves. The edge loop behaves exactly how he wanted. So, oh man, still getting used to this Wii and stuff. So go right here, click, and then put as close together as you can to this right here. And we can see it didn't affect the back. It did not affect the back, so that's gonna mess it up. So we're gonna click here. Yes, that's not gonna be good, is it? Yes, that is not good. That is not good, so. But another thing we can do is just let it happen. And we can see we got 3 of these right here. So the outer one is the one that we want, do we? Or don't we? Wait, hold on a second. So we're gonna have to do another edge cut. Wait, so we're gonna leave it there. I don't know what's going on here. Oh, now I see. Yeah, so this messed it up, but still, we can still fix this. So go back to object mode, press 1 or wait, press 1 to isolate. Okay, Shift H. Yeah, Shift H to isolate the object. So the object is going to be by itself by pressing Shift H. So you hide everything but not your selected object. So now we're going to go have a look at what we got right here. So we got this object right here. The edge loop is going all the way up right here. It's following the lines. And it seems to be ending right here. So yeah, it ends right there. This is where it ends. And it's not like really connecting to the other one. So we're gonna have to finish it for Blender right here. And then just cut and connect it to the other one over here. Make sure we got the vertice right there. Connect to the vertice. Press enter. And this is not looking the way I wanted it. So just connect it again. Go all the way. See, the same thing happens here. Okay, the same thing does not happen here. So that's good. So now it's actually going over here. And now we're going to have to make the edge loop cut on the other side here as well. Alright, so we're going to have to make the other edge loop cut on this side. And hopefully it does not actually mess up the other part here. So you can see here, it's probably not messing with it. So we're going to have to go along with it. And then just connect it right there. Okay, now we go up, scroll all the way up and see how the top of the sword looks. So you're gonna go all the way up here. It's coming to this side. So far it's not messing with the object, but it's reaching on this side over here. Let me go Control C to undo it, and seems to not really mess with anything. So we're gonna go back here. Seems like it's not going the other way, so it's not really messing with the object here, so it's fine. So that'll be fine. We're gonna have to get rid of this this edge. So we're gonna go to edges and then select this edge right here to get rid of it. It's gonna be that edge, and then it's gonna be the other edge, and then do the same thing as we did on the other one. It's gonna be the outer edge. Alright, so for this dissolve edges. And then we're gonna do the same thing as the other one. Use the knife tool and then connect it to the other one. Go right here, press enter, and there we go. So now we got the sword right here, and we're gonna go back to object mode. Have a good look at how it looks like. You can see that it looks just the way it's supposed to be now. You can see these lines right here. This is what you should look for right here. You have the detail of the edges, so that's looking really nice and sharp now. We're not gonna add any edge loops on this side right here because it already looks sharp enough. The one last problem we have would be right there. So press H. Nope. Okay, so hold on a second. Let me check how to unhide. Okay, so you press Alt and H to unhide everything. Alright, so you press the Alt button and then the H button to unhide. Alright, so now we need to cut this right here. So let's give it a cut and then enter. We're gonna look at the back right here, go on the other image right here, and then just do the same thing, give it a cut, and then enter. Okay, and now we're gonna go back to the object right here, select all these vertices, and then scale them out. Then let's drag them down a little bit, scale them down. I say we gotta keep moving it down. Then go down here. Alright, that should be good enough. Then move this down a little bit. Oh, I guess I'm choosing vertices. I was on edge mode, so yeah, so vertices. Then move it down a little bit, nice and sharp on the tip. And then just select these vertices and then merge at center. Same thing over here, merge at center. And then right here, press S, Y, 0. Nope, not that one. So Control C, go back, S, X, 0. Oh, that's not the right one either. So we're gonna go with the last one, S, C, 0. That's the one. That's the one right there. Now we go to the y-axis here, and then we can see that the sword starts shrinking at the bottom here. So we're gonna have to like scale it down a bit, going down here. So that's where the shrinking starts on this right here. So we're gonna have to go to scale 2, and then just scale it down a little bit as it reaches the tip. So about right there will be fine. Grab it right here, scale it down a bit as well, about right there. Grab it right here, scale it down a little bit, then grab it here, scale it down a little bit too, and that looks nice, sharp and pointy. Gonna go quick frame selected right here. Then get out of there, and then let's just have a good look at it. Seems to be nice and good right there. Can't see if anything else needs to change. Nothing has to change. Yeah, I think it's better to separate these a little bit. So we're gonna go back to the object mode right here. Go back to the X view. There we go. Okay, I can see right here, this one is actually a little bit more closer to the other one. So yeah, this is a bit more closer, so we're gonna have to like separate this a little bit more. Oh, and then something's going on here. So yeah, we're gonna have to like also connect these right here as well. Make sure they're on the same level. So Z, press S for scale, and then C, then 0, and then you have them together. So we're gonna have to do this for all of them right as well. So S, C, 0. So yeah, for every single one, gonna have to do that just to keep them even. Oh, this one doesn't work, so we're gonna have to go with Y, 0, right there. And we also got a view right here in the 3D view. Keep an eye on this, so you can see that if you press the wrong one, they don't actually connect together. Alright, that takes care of the bottom. Now we're gonna go all the way up. Same thing with the other ones. And this might be a little difficult because we got multiple ones in there. So we're gonna have to choose carefully here. Go over here, select this one. So far it's not good, so we're gonna have to go here, select both of these. We got both of them. Yep, we got both of them, so now we go to SY0. Connect it. SY0, so this can go. Yep, this will go great. Then go the other one here. SY0. SY0. And that's about it. And that's about it. So that's looking pretty nice, sharp. So looking pretty well. I think that worries me here will probably be this side right here. So this is kind of looking like there's like a line right here. So I'm not sure, we should probably do something about it, like do an edge loop cut right here, bring it down, then let it be like that, then go right here. You can see there's actually like a so that brings a line to this thing right here, which is something I don't actually want. We don't want this right here, so we're gonna have to go Control R and then bring it to the top instead and see what happens. Now this seems to be a little bit much more better. It gives it a nice sharp feel to it. So it's actually pretty good. We see those lines right there. And that's pretty much probably what the sides shows as well. And yep, the side actually shows it. So, and it's not sharp, so you can see there's a sharp edge right here, but there's no sharpness right here. So that will actually work well for the blade right here. This will actually work well. So this is gonna work well. So that's pretty much done. So that's pretty much about done. There's just one last thing to do here. So the last thing will be to get these lines right here. The screen lines, we have to create them. So give me a couple of minutes to see how to do it, because it's a really complicated thing to do. Alright, that's it for part 4 of the tutorial. You should already know that it takes a lot of edge looping to create smooth and detailed objects to create models for games. The subdivision modifier is also an option, but if you're planning to make game objects, smoothing is the most common way to do it. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to poke that like and subscribe button. Share with your friends. Feel free to follow me in my other social media, and I'll see you all in my next video. Take care of yourselves, guys. See you later.